So when I got this invitation to be here for Impact, it was pretty exciting. And they said is they wanted me to talk about crisis communication. So crisis, what is it? It's a turning point. It's a moment. Some of us think of it as danger, a moment of danger, something that is going to happen, and maybe there's risk. Likely there's risk. Usually when we think crisis, that's what we think of, right? For me, I see opportunity. I see a point in which we have to make a decision, and it's a decision that's going to matter. At the Ada County Sheriff's Office, we walk head-on into crisis every single day. When a dispatcher picks up the phone, rarely is it somebody calling to say, I'm having a really good hair day and I thought you should know. No, it's they're calling us in their very worst moment. When something is in danger, someone often is in danger. They're scared. They're afraid. They simply don't know what to do. They can't manage the crisis. They can't answer that call in that moment in a way that they feel confident and secure or safe. So we play an incredible role in that moment, and we run into that willingly. But we're taught to avoid crisis, right? We're taught to avoid risk, avoid liability. So how is it that we can have, in one moment, have so much confidence and be almost excited about running into crisis, and in the next be terrified, looking to avoid it, wanting to run away from it? Because hear me now, nothing is more critical to us or more crisis-causing to us than that call that comes in about one of our own. One of our own who couldn't make it another moment and took his own life. One of our own who is in a terrible crash. One of our own who made a really, really bad choice and decided to drive under the influence of alcohol. Right? Those are moments of crisis, and I see them just as much as an opportunity. I would love to avoid those moments, and yet we're human, so we're not going to, right? We're not going to. So what is our opportunity in crisis? Our opportunity is to make a choice, deliberately, intentionally choose in that moment, in those most difficult moments when it matters most, make the choice to communicate who we are. That's why people turn to us. At the Ada County Sheriff's Office, we are thrilled to be able to make safer places to live, work, and play. How? By connecting to our community, by being willing to be there when you call and need help, by having our negotiators, our inmates in the jail, our inmate managers in the jail, our deputies there, right? The people who care for them in our medical facility that if it were a standalone hospital would be the 12th in the state, 12th largest in the state. Right? These are opportunities every single day that we can connect and that we can help people feel better, feel safer, feel more secure. So how do we do that? We don't build that trust in those moments of crisis. We don't build trust in those scary times. We build trust every single day, every single contact we have. Every time someone calls us, every time someone walks up to the door, every time someone sees one of our deputies on patrol, every time a reporter asks me or one of our public information folks for information, and we tell them with transparency, with openness, here is who we are. This is what we do, and this is why. Those are the moments that we build trust. Those are the moments that we learn what is so critical about crisis communication, right? That's connection. And it's also that connection that makes it really, really scary. So how do we learn? How do we learn? How do we teach our people that it's okay? That it's okay to be real? Because that's what we're talking about, right? We're talking about real connection. We can manage real easily what do we talk about when crisis and public crisis? When a man walks into a house he's never been to before, kills 2 people inside and sets it on fire, right? That's crisis. The community wants to know, what happened? How does that happen? Can you tell me that it's never going to happen again? 5-6 years ago now, Valley County, a teenager taken from California into the deep backwoods of Idaho after her mom and her brother had been killed. That's crisis. And the community wants to know, what are you doing about that? And it's not hard to find confidence in those moments. We're pretty courageous in those moments because it feels good. We know what the community expects. We know what it takes to make somebody feel better in those moments, right? We know that we can say proudly that we are doing everything we can to bring Hannah home. And that feels good. In the moments, even in those roughest moments of a home invasion and the deaths of 2 family members, those are tough moments. And yet we can still stand proudly and say we are doing everything we can, right, to keep you safe. Those are words we can say with confidence. It doesn't feel the same when we have to stand up and talk about those moments that I mentioned earlier, right? We expect more of our deputies, and you should too. We're not proud of us. This isn't our best moment. We didn't do it right. We didn't do the best we could. Those are the moments we have a little bit tougher time. And we tend to want to run away from those. We tend to want to use our blinders or our hiders, if you will, to say, you don't need to know. You wouldn't understand when somebody challenges us or questions us. Right? That's not the way to manage crisis. That doesn't build trust. That doesn't build support. We know that just from our relationships, our friendships, our coworkers, our peers here at BSU. Does it feel good when you give someone feedback, constructive criticism, and their response is, I know you are, but what am I? Right? Does that help you feel better? No. Right? It's not a healthy, mature response, and yet that's what we want to do because we don't want to feel that, right? We don't like it when we could have done better or we should have done better. It doesn't feel good. But our opportunity, our impact, our biggest impact as communicators, I believe, is not in those moments because those will get through. We don't have any choice, right? We get through them because we have to. I just this morning left a meeting, scrambled here, because a meeting that was happening for about 30 or 40 employees of a different department, learning that they soon will come to work for us. Their job is changing. In an instant, they just found out that their world, the place they spend the very most time in, right? Their job is changing dramatically. And we don't have all the answers yet. We're just learning. We don't have all the answers. We don't know. And we have to say, I don't know. But here's what I can do, right? I can make those promises. That is our biggest impact. The ability to make those promises to people every single day and to live up to them. Because when that friend, that peer, that coworker, that person comes alongside you and says, hey, I think you could have done that better. If we pause and we take a moment to hear that, truly hear that, and recognize the intent, help them understand perhaps where we were coming from, what we were doing, what we were choosing to do. In policing, it's explaining the way we use certain tactics, why we use force when we do, what it looks like when we perform a specific action on purpose the right way, so that you understand, so that the community knows what to expect from us, so that they turn to us for answers and not run away because they're scared. That is our biggest impact as communicators, is to share our story, right? To let people see that we are human. We call 911 just like you. Our deputies need help just like you. They're on the other end of that crisis, right? Just like you. And they want that trust, and that they need to know that that we are there and able to answer those calls in a responsible, professional way. So it's about making a promise and living up to it. And we know that's your brand. Your promise, what sets you apart, that's your brand. That's powerful. So I see crisis as a powerful moment in time when we get to make a choice. We have a deliberate and intentional choice to make. Are we going to lean into it? Right? Expose ourselves to real, be authentic through it? Say, this is what we did and why. This is who we are. And that starts not that minute, not that hour, right? Because you're not going to earn trust when people are under high stress. We know that. That trust has to be there. That trust has to have been built. But that moment is when you prove it. Right? That moment is when you walk the talk. That when you say we make safer places to live, work, and play, then you make it your priority to show them. Don't tell me, show me. Right? Show me who you are. Show me that your moments that matter are the same moments that matter to me. Show me that that deputy is there for the right reasons, doing the right thing for the right reasons. And when we mess up, right, we acknowledge it, we say it, we own it, and we let them know. That, right, that is our moment of impact. That is the choice you make every single day. Are we going to walk into danger? Are we going to see it as an opportunity and live it to the fullest, to show people who we really are? Thank you very, very much.